Mary woke up feeling very groggy. She realised she was in a hospital room and didn't remember what happened to her get there. She lay down wondering what had happened and was hoping some doctor would come into her room very soon and explain to her. She hoped it wasn't serious. She tried to remember what she was doing the night before, but everything seemed to be a blur. Suddenly a doctor walked into the room and smiled at Mary and said, "Oh dear, you had a very nasty fall last night and hit your head, and you were taken in by a very kind person who didn't even leave their name, but it was very lucky of them to have found you, because if they didn't, well then, you might have just fell unconscious again on the street until a car ran you over. We have to run tests, and I'm very sorry, but when you fell unfortunately into a pool of muddy water, so we had to take your clothes off." A few minutes later she had decided to get out of the bed and open the door, but got a surprise when it was locked. Mary learnt a trick as a teenager, to pick a lock with her hair clip, so that is exactly what she did. She was expecting to see a hospital, but what she saw to her surprise was what looked like a cabin in the woods. She could see the window and the woods outside, and just an empty room. She got a worse shock when she saw a newspaper resting on the table with the headline "Killer Dresses Victims in Red Dress." She suddenly jumped when she heard the man, who claimed to be a doctor, say, well, how did you get out of that locked room?" Mary ran for the door, but the man locked it before she could get there. Suddenly she ran to the room that was made to look like a hospital room. He pushed her into where the dress was lying. She wrapped it around his neck and pulled it as hard as she could until she choked him to death. She then ran and ran out of the cabin and eventually made her way to a diner to call the police. Thanks for watching The Assassin Rapper, and if you want to stay up to date on new content, then please subscribe and be sure to hit the bell to be notified on new content.